Hello and welcome back, fans of MTG Burgeoning. Welcome back to Tales of MTG Burgeoning. If you are looking for a series that is just about kicking back, sorting out some cards, and talking about some magic memories, oh baby, this is the series for you. If you are looking for a deck tech or some kind of rewards, you can search our archive because this will not be the video for you. Alright, so this is the LGS edition of Tales from MTG Burgeoning. Let me share with you another one of my very vivid memories from the MTG Burgeoning LGS, and that has to do with the store owner's EDH deck. Now we're going back a little bit here to the, well, that's not even the right color. We're going back to the time when Leovold was still legal. There was a short period of time that he was actually still legal before he was rightfully banned in Commander. So, the owner of the store had this Leovold, I guess you could call it like a hive mind deck. For anyone who's not familiar with what Leovold does, he's just a very, very mean and nasty commander for 3 CMCs, a Sultai color. He just is just very mean. he refuses to allow you to draw cards, and if you target him, his controller gets to draw cards. He just had to go. He was trouble the entire time, and it was a good thing he was banned. Anyways, there was a time when he wasn't banned, and during that time, the owner of our LGS, one of the owners of the LGS, had this Sultai commander deck with Leovold as the general, was the pilot of the deck. And this deck was built around a hive mind idea where the actual spell hive mind was a big part of what the deck did. Anyone who's familiar with hive mind, it's a blue enchantment. I think it's 5 and a blue. The casting cost of this spell eludes me a little bit, but I know it's a blue enchantment. And what it does is, it says whenever a spell is cast, I think it's whenever a spell is cast that targets one creature or permanent or something like that, it targets every one of those permanents. So what this warped deck did is it used the hive mind, and then each of the different packs were included in the deck, like the Slaughter Pact, the Pact of Negation, and the the Summoning Pact. But I don't think the Summoning Pact was ever used as a way in which to win the game through opponent interaction. It was more the Slaughter Pact and the Pact of Negation. And what the deck forced the opponents to do is they would cast one of the pack spells, and then it would be copied for each other spell for each other target that it could copy, and then those opponents would have to pay the pact cost of the mana associated with each respective spell. And the problem with that, of course, is if you're not playing in those colors, then guess what? You're losing the game when it gets to your turn, all because the LGS owner would cast one of these pact spells, make you cast it as well, and then that's how you would lose the game. Well, that was a pretty good way in which to bring salt down upon you, I can assure you that. So after some time of watching how this deck would work and sitting down, and decided to pull out a deck of my own, I'm like, all right, let's play. Let's get Leovold out there and let's play some spells. Let's cast throw some stuff around. So he's got his Leovold deck out, and he's doing his thing. He's got his hive mind out, and he's doing everything he needs to do. And up to this point, it was just all the opponents that had sat down so far just could not answer the packs. I don't know if it was just because of the newness of what Leovold was doing, because it was shortly after his Conspiracy 2 release, Take the Crown. Alright, so we're playing in the deck, and I remember I had a Boros deck, and I had a Boros deck at the time. I think it was, let's see, I'm pretty sure it was piloted by Aurelia, because at that time I was really into the Boros Angels. So I'm pretty sure it was with Aurelia. Why are you here? Alright, so I had, as one of the equipments that I had out there to help with the combat theme of the deck was an Umezawa's Jit. And when you get some counters on the Jit, on Umezawa's Jit, there's a few different things that you can do with them. One of the things that you can do is you can remove some of the charge counters on the Jit in order to give target creature, I think it's either -1/-1 or -2/-2. I want to say, I don't even remember if it was -1 or -2. Let's just say for the purposes of clarity that it was -1. I think it was -1. Or was it -2? It's gain 2 life. It's got to be -1. Moving off 1 for -2 just seems too tough. So anyways, so got the Jit out there with some counters, and then the owner gets his, he's got his Hive Mind out there. He's got his Leovold is out there as well, and then he decides to go and cast the Slaughter Pact, which again is going to target each spell that it can for each possible legal, and I'm going to stress that a little bit, for each possible legal target that there is. So as these spells are on the stack, what we decide to do, and by we I mean me, is that we decide to remove the counters to the spell that is targeting, that the Slaughter Pact is targeting. Therefore, when the target is illegal because it no longer exists, the spell then fizzles, and then there is no more Slaughter Pact, and therefore, because the spell fizzled, you don't have to worry about paying that mana because the spell was never cast. And that was how it was demonstrated how, I'm not saying how to beat that deck, because let me tell you, that was an inordinately oppressive deck from what I watched, and to have the ability to have the charge counters on that Jit when I needed, that was a little luck too, because that was also a pretty fast deck. So after that happened, the owner was like, well, I knew someone was eventually going to figure out how to beat this deck. Not that I was planning to do it that way. Honestly, I was just trying to outrace him to try to deal the damage necessary to knock him out, and that sure didn't happen. But in order to sit there and have his pact fizzle, just by taking off a couple of innocent counters from my Umezawa's Jit, therefore getting rid of the target that the Slaughter Pact was targeting before it resolved, therefore fizzling, it felt good. It felt real good. Particularly, I mean, the owner, he's an amazing player. He's, played in so many of the GOPs and tournaments and stuff like that. It was just a nice feeling. And that Hive Mind Leovold deck shortly thereafter, when Leovold got his banning, there was a little bit of rejoicing going on at the LGS, because it was a very formidable build and one that will not be missed. It is also a type of deck that I'm sure everyone out there has an experience with. So let me know in the comment section below, what deck have you come across that fits that kind of description, and how did you handle it? Because this is MTG Burgeoning, and these are tales from the LGS.